Hello everyone. Today I'm bringing you Yihui Science's production. This custom packaging by Huemuchin is custom made by Shanhao Haijo. This box is neither very sly nor slick, but the texture is still great and has great emotional value. This aspect is also well done. Then the switch has a faint green hue. The half-head case paired with this orange shaft looks very beautiful. To be honest, this Yihui made axis like Shaoqing Courtyard, and other colors like Little Ant, are all very eye-catching and unique. Some basic parameters of the switch include the POM shaft, the modified P12 model, the top cover P5 back box. There are 2 axes of pressure, with trigger pressures of 37G and 45G. Then the springs are all 22mm singles. Combined with spring triggers, forms about 2mm. The total formation is about 3.6mm. The sound at the switch is slow and dim in a low state with no noise. There is a faint friction noise from the shaft, but no noise from grease separation. Quick, there was a faint sound of oiled paper, and there was no talk of lying or talking. The overall tone of the switch is rather crisp. However, compared to other crisp sounds of the Dimstar, the switch is slightly lower, so it's not a bit too harsh. Here, let's make a simple comparison with the true subaxis to get a sense of it. The typing sound performance is indeed quite good, so that within the axis of Huemuchin's destructive image, it doesn't feel that much like here. However, the fullness of the tone is still quite flat. It doesn't feel particularly moist either. After talking about the aspect, is the axis stability still relatively stable? In the switches manufactured by the rear core, this is a fairly moderate control of frame quantity. Compared to the tighter batch, it's a bit more comfortable. There's no jerking at startup, and the overall setup is pretty smooth. It won't have the grey wood core like the one we saw recently. There's a noticeable disconnect between the front and back halves. You can also feel the pressure on the axle after adjustment, which improves a bit, but the grey wood core flavor is still very noticeable. The pressing sensation is somewhere between oily and dry. It is extremely slippery, but it doesn't feel overly oily. It doesn't have the sandy feel and balances it out, which is quite nice. Overall, this switch feels relatively good in hand, right? Then there's a switch that's crisp but not stabbing. Plus, with the added touch of appearance, the feel is pretty good, which is perfect for those who like it. The sound is crisp but not sharp. So see you next time in this video on principles. Bye bye.